Hello, beloved. Welcome once again to RCCG Open Heaven today. It's another glorious day to dive into the Word of God as we continue our Bible in 1 year series. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do, and don't forget to like and share this video so more people can be blessed. Now let's get into today's powerful message. Today we are covering Numbers 11:13, a passage filled with deep lessons on contentment, obedience, faith, and the consequences of doubt. Our journey begins with the Israelites in the wilderness. The chapter opens with complaints, the people murmuring against God. This displeased the Lord, and his anger was kindled. Fire from the Lord consumed some on the outskirts of the camp, but when the people cried out, Moses interceded, and God had mercy. The place was named Taberah, meaning burning, as a reminder of this judgment. But the complaining didn't stop there. A mixed multitude among them stirred up cravings for meat. They reminisced about the fish, cucumbers, melons, onions, and garlic they had in Egypt, completely forgetting the bondage they suffered. They despised the manna, the heavenly provision of God, calling it insufficient. Isn't this how we sometimes behave? God provides for us, yet we long for worldly things. Moses, overwhelmed by their grumbling, poured out his frustration to God, feeling the weight of leadership. He even asked God to take his life rather than let him bear the burden alone. What a moment of human weakness. But God, in his wisdom, gave Moses a solution. 70 elders were chosen, and God placed his spirit upon them to help Moses lead. Then, God promised meat, but not for just 1 day, not for 5, 10, or 20 days, but for a whole month, until it would come out of their nostrils. What a warning against greed. And true to his word, God sent a mighty wind, bringing quails in abundance. The people gathered greedily, but before they could even finish chewing, the Lord's wrath struck them with a great plague. The place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, meaning graves of craving, a stark reminder of what happens when we reject God's provision. Next, we witness a family conflict. Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of his Ethiopian wife, but their real issue was deeper. They envied Moses' unique relationship with God. They asked, "Has the Lord only spoken through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too?" God heard them, and he responded immediately. Calling them to the tabernacle, God made it clear, "With prophets, I speak in visions and dreams, but with Moses, I speak face to face." What a special relationship. How dare they question God's choice? As the cloud of God's presence lifted, Miriam was struck with leprosy, turning white as snow. Aaron, seeing the horror, pleaded with Moses, who in turn cried to God, "Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee." God in his mercy agreed, but she had to be shut out of the camp for 7 days, a public display of her sin. The lesson? Be careful how you speak about God's anointed. Finally, we arrive at the famous story of the 12 spies. God commanded Moses to send a representative from each tribe to spy out the promised land, Canaan. Among them were Caleb and Joshua, men of faith. The spies explored the land and returned after 40 days with evidence of its abundance. A cluster of grapes so large it had to be carried on a pole. They confirmed the land indeed flowed with milk and honey, but 10 of the spies spread fear, saying the land was filled with giants, and they were as grasshoppers in their sight. But Caleb stood up. "Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it." What faith! Yet the people sided with fear, forgetting the mighty hand of God that had delivered them from Egypt. How often do we let fear stop us from stepping into our promised land? When God gives a promise, no obstacle is too great. But the Israelites chose doubt over faith, setting the stage for severe consequences in the next chapter. Complaining displeases God. Instead of murmuring, cultivate gratitude for what you have. God provides, but greed leads to destruction. Are we trusting God's provision or lusting after the things of the world? Be careful how you speak against God's anointed. Pride and jealousy led to Miriam's downfall. Let's learn from her mistake. Faith over fear. Will you be like the 10 spies, focused on the giants, or like Caleb and Joshua, believing in God's power? Wow, what a powerful passage today. If this blessed you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement today. Let's keep growing in the Word of God together. Join us again tomorrow for another amazing study. God bless you, and see you next time.